Hello there, guys. On a little bit earlier. Out here in Laguna Beach, California, Orange County. Made it this far south. Get out of LA. Beautiful area. Extremely wealthy. Extremely beautiful buildings. Money everywhere. Beautiful cars everywhere. Really interesting place to be. I read an interesting email I get about every week or so, called Brain Pickings. It's really, really good. And in there, the publisher, she always brings up really good points of authors and things like that, and she always has a good topic. And there's one particular guy I like called named Aaron Watts. And he wrote about the idea of freedom. What is freedom? And a really particular quote, I can't quote it because I can't remember quotes very well, but I'm going to quote him, because it's not going to be a real quote, paraphrase him, is that as long as your mind is preoccupied with not being in the present, or that there's some way that you can not be free, and you can't be free. And I does a much better job of saying it. I can't remember it. I just had it in my head, but I already lost it. But it's the idea that you need to live in the present. And when I drove down into this area, this really beautiful area, compared to these people and this population, this community, I'm poor, I guess, in relation to. So, I started to get this envy, right? Of like, oh my God, I wish I had made money, and I wish I had invested. I wish I was doing what I'm doing now. 20 years ago, I wish I knew all this stuff. How do these people make all this money? How do they drive around their Porsches and Lamborghinis and their Ferraris and whatever it is? You just see how beautiful it is. Well, this isn't actually not a great spot. It's really pretty stuff up there. And so right there, that takes you into pain. It takes you into the future of thinking that you're not free now. You become free and you change. It's weird. You change your future by focusing on your present. Because if you're preoccupied with changing your future now, like how it's going to be later, then it's not going to change. Because there is only present. It's only now. Now is the only thing that you can change in your life. Now is the only thing you can do. So by changing now, or being present now, what you do now is what's going to affect your future. And so if you think you're not free, you can't be free if you're always thinking about the future, because you're tied to the future. You're it's in prison of the future. And he didn't talk about this, but the same thing in the past. It's the same exact thing. If you're stuck in the past, you're also imprisoned by the past, because you're living in the past, when really both those are mind constructs. There's only present. So when you're in the future, you're in your mind, speculating, and going into pain typically because you're wanting something, you're needing something. And if you go in the past, you're reliving difficult situations. You're reliving past experiences that you didn't like or you regret, that type of thing. If it's good stuff, okay, well, that's different. But still, you don't want to live there. You want to be in the present. Hey, Maria, what's going on? How are you? Thanks for watching. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So very timely, because as I read that this morning, and then I drive down here, and like it's not easy sometimes living in the present, because there's so much around us, always pulling us in different directions. Like, before coming down here this morning, I was perfectly happy, you know. But now I'm like looking at all these houses and these beautiful places. I'm thinking, oh my God, you know, what did I do in my life to deserve what I've got and all this other stuff? It's all bullshit. It's just my mind, you know. So when you come back to a place of consciousness and just presence of where you are, it brings you back and takes you out of the present. It takes you out of the future, that future pain, and takes you into the past. Takes you out of the past as well. Meditation is really, really good for that. One thing I did with a client this past week is she was being tortured kind of by her past of shame. And she couldn't forgive herself. So therefore, for her past, things that she maybe had done or things that had been done to her, oftentimes it's things that have been done to you that you have no control over at all when you're a child. But you still carry some shame sometimes, like I did for the longest time. I was abused mentally, physically, and I didn't realize that I carried that with me as shame. I used to beat myself up emotionally about it. It's like, how could this happen to me? What did I deserve to be treated that way? Nothing. I was a child. I had no control over that. So that often happens in our lives. And the way we get back to this is get in the present. Meditation works really, really well. I use a lot of karate stuff like kata, but that brings you back to the present, where you should be, where you need to be, in order to really live your life. Oh. So that's about all I got. Do you have any questions, Maria? Or anybody out there? I think there's only one person. All right, I'm lost now. I lost my two partners that I was walking with because I was concentrating on this. I can't do two things at once. Nobody can. But that's another video. So anyway, that's what I got. So if anybody sees this live, please do hashtag live. If you see the replay, do hashtag replay. I appreciate it. Also do a thumbs up or a heart if you really liked it, if you found it useful. Yeah, just let me know what it feels like to you. And this is what I do, coaching people to help people with improving their lives through improving their current state, I would say. Yeah. So, let me know if you guys need help. I will be on here again tomorrow. We'll talk about something else. All right, have a great night. Bye-bye.